Okay, this over here. This over here. This over here. This over here. Yo, hey Danny, how's it going? Uh, yo, um, how do I say your name? Hello, how's it going? Your name seems unfamiliar. How are you? Okay, really doing some brain sessions. Brainstorming. I guess mom is at Kaiser or something. Okay, I also have to go back and get these. Yo, Hans, how's it going? What were you thinking about? How's it going, short kitten? You're good? I'm good. I'm like working in a way I don't normally. So I'm good. I'm just figuring things out. I think I have a funny um area. How's it going, area? You spelled it for Kev. So obviously we know each other well. Um yeah, I met up I spoke on the phone to listen to music thinking about you'd a word. Um what are you listening to? But yeah, of course she is. But I talked to Rosebud Baker today and it went well. And I don't know Arian. 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 That's it. But she gave me a bunch of ideas and like it kind of makes me think kind of like always like there's just so many ways to go down. There's just so many paths. I don't know what to do. But I think she gave me good advice and she was very quick to be like, "Oh yeah, like I'll introduce you to my editor easy." And I'm like, it's also funny. It's like I'm so just new to all this and just so this is not in my world and I mean I could do it but it's just so not um area. How's it going, area? Nice to have you. But it's funny cuz it's like, you know, it's like we met as like I guess kind of peers. So she's like, "Oh yeah, just write the book and then, you know, just self-publish and then just sell." And I'm like, "You're just saying write the book like like it's like, oh yeah, just go to Disneyland and have fun and then when you come back, you'll be happy, you know, you'll be done." And then she is a writer and a great one at that. A really, really great writer. And she was also just like, "It's impossible, dude." And she gave me some advice on like how's it going, Aiden? Just like what she would have done differently. And I think it's really good advice because I feel like I feel like if I were to do what she did this first time around in terms of like the creative process or like the way she was talking about working, I'd also probably be like, I would never want to do this again. But yeah, but it's crazy. I don't know what to do. Would you guys? What would you guys? I mean, you guys might not be the best case study because you guys are just already on board. I mean, one thing she said that was very big was it was really good, Danny. It was really, really good. It was sold out. People laughed. People in the green room laughed. It was good. How's it going, Big Cheese? But so she was like, I mean, well, she was like, if you again the options because I have someone who's down to be on board and help in a way that's like she writes the way I like. She gets my sense of humor. Her sense of humor is very close to mine. She's already a published author. She already has she's already done the whole thing, you know? And so the thing was, Rosebud kind of suggested like maybe a coffee table book as opposed to like a book of just like Lilyisms, you know, like the 48 Laws of Power by Lily, like, you know, like the 48 Laws of Lily or some shit, you know? And so it's very, very, very different than me trying to write a book on parenting mom. But she also was just like, well, why don't you just make a little coffee table book of just parenting mom scenarios? Or she was like, write a book, because it's also like in the literary world, it's a lot different than the online world. So she's just like, well, why don't you you have to write a book to people who have no idea who your mom is. Like, write a book to people who've never heard of you guys, and what would you put in that book? And I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of a lot different than what I had in mind. Not entirely, because I feel like a lot of what I was thinking initially was to kind of make it a good story more so than just the pancake pie lady. It's like, I was thinking today, oh my God, it's just so crazy. And also, I guess this is between us. I mean, not like it's like a secret or anything, but I'm also thinking like talking to Hans, you mentioning, and I was talking to Kat about some things where it seems like, I guess it is like if someone's writing something that people want people to read ultimately, that they actually don't put it on like a Substack or anything. Like, they really keep it under wraps. So I'm kind of telling you guys, because I'm just like, well, there's a few of you guys here, and you guys kind of already heard these stories. And also I feel like the job would also be like to tell it to the point where you would enjoy it as well. You know, I feel like I want it to be written well, or at least in a humorous way, where like, even if you heard a story before and you hear it again, and you're going to hopefully get something out of it or like it or something new. But anyhow, dude, when the tree fell, I told you, when the tree fell in the garage, mom didn't want to deal with cremation. She couldn't do it. So, and also she's Jewish, so like they don't deal with cremation. But it was crazy because when my dad died in the beginning of this whole shit, she looked at me like, Kev, what should we do? Like, she didn't have answers, and she was just like, what should we do? And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, the fuck you mean? Like, you're asking me, and you're taking it seriously. It's just like, I felt like, not like a fucking man, but like, I'm like, this is okay. But I was like, yeah, this, and this. Like, I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to pick up his shit. Let's fucking, okay, awesome. His sister wants some of him. Let's fucking burn him. You know, it's like, and it's like, obviously I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it's true. You know, I was just like, let's do this. And then so she was just like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want? Like, you want to put that together, this and that? It's the easiest thing, cheapest thing, you know? And she's just like, fuck it. And so then when the tree fell in the garage, Dad's ashes were in the garage, but also there was a time, almost even still, where I was playing hide and go seek with fucking my dad's ashes because she just wants to throw them away all the time. And I'm like, that's like, I don't think that you need to know who the pancake pie lady is to be like, this is kind of humorous. I mean, it's a dark humor, even though I kind of don't really see it to be dark, but it's like, it's very nuts. You know what I mean? And I was kind of telling her, and I was like stumbling upon some of these stories, so I forgot about that. But we were going back and forth, and she was just like, oh yeah, we'll put that in. But also, like, if I do like a coffee table book of like, just like, okay, I got the book, Joe DiMaggio quotes, because I also know that, I forgot, there was a live stream that we did because I know I clipped some of it, but where mom was like, I was like, we could write a book, and she's just like, no, we can't. Like, she was like trying to talk me out of the fact that like we could or not. And then I brought up some of the Joe DiMaggio tracks, and then she was just like, I could do 1 million. So maybe, because also Rosebud was kind of quick to be, which is again kind of funny because I'm flattered because she's just like, oh yeah, you could do whatever. But I'm also like, bro, the hell, bro? You just think I'm just I could just do whatever? Like, I could write fucking books, multiple, you know? She's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, what you should do is you should just write whatever, write a coffee table book. that is like Lilyisms, and it'd be good. And then the second book, make it the heavy book. And I'm like, bro, you're talking about second books. I haven't written anything in my life. You're a writer, and you said this shit was really hard. You know what I mean? And I mean, okay, one second. Let me see. Joe DiMaggio. Wait, there's so much in this. I have some thoughts on that. Bring them. I mean, this is the session. Where the fuck is? Oh man, I gotta write this down too. Esther Lauder, Ross. How's it going, Valley Girl? Nice to see you. Kev, I sent you a couple links, Discord brands you worked with. Rando I found while searching. Okay, sick. I'm gonna check it out right now. Thank you very much. I think we're good on it. I don't know though. Wait, where? Oh yeah. The house always wins. The truth is the best. The library is open. Fix your brains up. Oof to you. Freak house to the lake. What you see is what you get. Gravity is attitude. Sleep good dreams. I think it's just kind of like if I quote mom on a million things, if I quote mom on 48 things or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Don't change the recipe. It's a headache to be greedy. It's great. Asshole is I love you. The blind leading the blind. One hand washes the other. The Schlitz is back. What the fuck. The forest is debt free. No phony baloney. Don't let Bob the Builder in. Yeah, I mean, if I just kind of quoted mom on a million things, or if we found a bunch of quotes, I think she can go on forever. You couldn't find. No, I did. It's Svetka. I found the bottle yesterday of the vodka brand. But did you remember Liquid Death? Yeah, that we remember Liquid Death. What's the thing you say about stuff that's hard? I mean, don't get me wrong. This wasn't me saying I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'll write 10 books. You know what I mean? Like I'm not worried about that. But I don't even know what I said. But I'm sure it probably rhymes with like that, like the magic what you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding and shit. I'm not trying to avoid anything. It's just. I think that one thing that she said that really like dropped the bomb on me was, you know, it's like you only get one shot at writing your first book. And she was just kind of like, hey man, like if you like, cause I also I think that I would kind of suggest this to friends I've worked with, but like, if I didn't try to swing for the fences and just write like a great book, I mean, granted, I want it to be a great book, but like if I wrote a book, if I wrote like something that like, if someone likes mom just because they like mom and they stumble on this channel and me ranting, I don't necessarily know that if one had to do it, I think that probably mom has more appeal than I do. I'm not saying that and I'm like looking down on me. It's like also like, I mean, I could potentially have more appeal than mom if there's a bunch of people who just want to get fired up about some shit. I'm not comparing in that regard. I'm just saying that like if it is a one shot or the first shot with a book with mom's face on it, and then it comes in, there's all these like intricate, weird, like I'm talking about when my dad played a record for me when I'm in 5th grade and it affects me. And then now I'm teaching that to my mom as an adult, where it really is kind of my story, but through her and my parents. They might not sign up for that compared to like just being like, oh yeah, cool. Like the house always wins. And mom being like, well, don't fuck around, you know, like don't find out, whatever. And so she was just like, oh, look, if you make something that lands, you could make something else. And then also, if you make something that lands, people might also just be like, oh, I want more. And then the more could be what you're looking to do, or these stories compared to if I'm just coming out the gates being like, all right, well, I'm going to write one book in my life and then this be that. Because she also kind of mentioned, she was just like, how's it going, Gallant? Wait up. I think you should write it as if people who don't know her will read it. Yeah, that's what I think. It'll be more so people who know her will buy it. Wait, I think you shouldn't write it as, well, she was just saying people who know her will buy it. Word of mouth will spread. Well, the only thing that she was saying was online and the literary world are just two different worlds completely. So if you write a good book for the literary world, then it goes. If you're writing a book for online, like a content creator, to content creator people or to people who like her online, it's a lot less. Because I mean, she's just like, I've just seen it. So she was just like, and she's also like, well, an editor would have a lot to say about this kind of stuff. But she's just like, well, look, if you write something that works as a book to people who buy books, it'll probably appeal to your audience as well, compared to if I'm writing to appeal to my online audience. Because if they don't want to buy a book, because also like word of mouth, this and that, I think that's really tough. Like I don't assume, I assume everything is impossible, really. And so she's just like, well, some of these traditional means of kind of getting the word out in terms of, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wouldn't expect like, I mean, she's also, dude, she's coming out with a book under Simon and Schuster. This is a different league. You know what I mean? She's a writer for SNL, you know? And again, I'm not saying that like I'm looking down on us, but it's different, you know? But so she's just like, oh yeah, well, like I have this and this, and like she has like an audience, but she's also like, I don't expect, like it's like if a book publisher is doing their thing and then I'm in that world, I'm not trying to be like, oh, let me shoehorn this world into my world, as opposed to like, let's just go with whatever they know and I'll try to bring my world with it. But on that same breath, it's just like, obviously if we're writing anything, it'll be to appeal to the people who fuck with us. The Lily audiobook, that would go nutty for sure, because I know that would be its own beast for sure. I mean, I've already been thinking that, because it's like, well, I couldn't read my portions and she couldn't read hers, but she would give a gist and it'd be a different story altogether, you know? Which would be so great for sure. But yeah, I think that like, cause also like, I don't think, like I also, again, this is what I'm saying. It's a bit confusing because she also kind of mentioned to it. She's a real pro, but she's just like, I don't want to give you a bunch of ideas because it's just going to confuse you and then it's just going to make everything worse. And I think she only made things better, but I know that I'm like just like taking in whatever she said. So also it was like, you know, yeah, like I like word of mouth is very, very real, very, very, very real. But like, you know, like if there's someone who's on Book Talk, you know, that doesn't know us as like silly us, and then it's a book that's just a good book. It's just a good story, you know, and they're not over here being like, oh yeah, like that's a pancake pie lady or the oof to you lady or the Halloween lady or whatever. But they're like, oh man, this is like this like heartfelt relationship story between, you know, like a mother and a son, and like grief and fun and, you know, kind of like getting younger as you age in a way or whatever. They'll probably be talking to people who read books, you know? And I'm not saying that like Instagram doesn't read books or TikTok doesn't read books, but like, she was just like, it's a different monster. Don't think that like, because granted, maybe like the numbers that we've kind of like accrued in our lifetime would help to get a book deal, but we don't necessarily know if that is the same audience as opposed to, but again, I don't know, you know? Does this count as two houses? Yeah, yeah, for sure. I got to change my name. I think I can by this point. She also said one thing that was, I mean, I thought about it, which again seems daunting, but she was just like, oh yeah, well, one thing you should really do is go talk to the people at the Improv and do like a monthly show. Like do 12 shows a year and then try to bring people out there. And then if someone comes through, like if you're trying to pitch something, just be like, we'll come to the show and see people's reactions and then see some things online where just like kind of bring things into the real world. But it's also funny because she comes from traditional media for sure. And she's very like, she's very, like, I think there's some people in, like, I had this idea because I had the idea, period. Then I thought it to be, I took it seriously, but as like a side hustle, which is a weird thing to really think. Like, it's a crazy thing to be like, oh, I'm going to write a book on the side, you know? How's it going, Kenny? But so, she was like thinking about people in her world where like, if they like popped off and then those people go to like, those people like transition into trying to make something very real in the real world, where I think I'm going to try to double down and go on the internet more. I'm not trying to bring, I mean, I am trying to bring people into the real world, but I would be fine with this and I would want this. And I think that she'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to do that, you know? Wait up. I have a meeting right now with my boss and all who are all women, and he spends it talking down to all of us, even though we are far more educated than him. So, him to mute and listen again. Well, it's also, oh my God, it's crazy. I was just thinking about it today. Like, I think I'm going to meet up with someone who works at Oxygen. She's just a friend, but like all of the people I work with are women, really. It's crazy. Well, that's what would make the second one a hit, because once you see Lilyisms is, yeah, well, short kid. I mean, well, that's what she was saying. And she was just like, she was definitely not trying to be like, listen to me. Because also she just seems like wise, you know? So she was just like, look, I'll give you like, you know, cause I asked, I was like, yo man, can I talk to you for a minute? You know? And she was just like, yeah, for sure. So then she was here kind of like spitting game and I was asking for it. But that's is what she said. She was just like, yo, man, like just write a hit. Don't swing for the fences, but just hit a nice, just write a hit. Like, don't try to write a classic. You know what I mean? And even like, it's like, obviously it's like, these are just like lofty words. I'm saying, she just like make something that lands with the people who you fuck with, the people who fuck with you and the people who don't know you, as a little intro to the thing. And then when you get the second one, go as deep as you want. And I believe that's right, which I'm like, I also feel like I'm very like, this is very odd for me because I'm like, I guess my whole life I'm just like, it's not that it's my way or the highway, but like it's kind of my way in terms of like what I want to do in creatively, or I kind of really like lose interest. But it's funny because the only time I've kind of like really stepped away from that was when I was like, because I always wanted to do something where mom was at the center of it. When I was old enough to kind of think creatively in a serious manner, where I was like, this is going to be my life. And then it took a minute before I was just like, I'm reluctant to do this, but I'm going to go online and do this. Like, I'm going to make Snapchat where my mom lives and laughs, or, you know, or like, I'm going to go on to TikTok, Instagram, and that's where the thing is going to live. And that was the only time I was just like, this isn't exactly how I want it to be. And it was the most fruitful decision I've ever made, basically. And so I'm kind of like considering that as I think, you know, I mean, granted, this is also so early. I mean, like this has been like literally 1 week since I've been thinking about it. And I'm like, fuck, that probably is the right thing. If I just write like a silly something where like if someone just picks up the book and it's just these like bars that mom drops and it's like written for a kid, and then we go in. It's probably a better idea, you know? Kenny, glad you're doing all right, man. Okay is better than down horrendous, man. I know how, dude, I know how it goes. Um, whoa, fancy. Yo, sorry, just yo, I'm here. We're here. We're just talking a little bit more about the book. I talked to someone who is a writer and she gave me some advice, and now I'm not that I'm more confused, but I'm a little bit more confused. I also feel like I'm gonna probably this weekend I'm gonna probably meet up with the person who an old friend, Soccer Teeth. Yeah, like the only that would be great. Kind of like, yeah, life lessons from Soccer Teeth. But the only problem with that, and that would be great. That really would be great. But the only problem with that is it's like that's such like an inside joke. I mean, granted that's funny, but like I don't know if people would really get that off the bat. But there has to be like a medium of that, you know? Yeah, what do I Because also it's funny because it's like all the like silly ideas I have just kind of in passing, like the Magical Smith Street tour and this and that. She was just like, dude, you're not in trouble for like ideas that probably go, especially if I have someone who's a a project manager who that's all they want to do. You know, that's like I was listening to this one like just like on like TikTok, like Rick Rubin came up and he was like, oh yeah, like he was talking about how like the creative process to be rushed, which I agree with and I kind of don't agree with, but he was just like, oh yeah, but if you have someone who's on the business side that wants to do business, and that's where they get like their rocks off by being like, I want to fucking work for this thing, which I also think is a pretty good thing in the future moving forward, which I kind of have to talk to Kat about. But it seems as though it's like if someone's working for themselves, like one to one with someone, they're working for themselves. I think if someone's working in like a corporation, like on a team, like a huge team, they could just fuck around, you know? Where like if I'm working with someone where it's like if it's beneficial, if I win, it's beneficial for them, then we could really start working. Rick was just like, well, if you have something you feel really good about, and then you hand it to someone who wants to do their job, and their job is to kind of bring, you know, like money to the project or promotion to the whatever the fuck to the project to make it work. Because he was talking about collaboration. And I do agree with this, but he was talking about collaboration, and he was just like, to collaborate is to want the thing to be the most successful it can, as opposed to getting your ideas across, getting the thing that is, you know, like, you know, you thinking that your idea is the best idea. So then you want to contribute in a way where you fucking argue for it, as opposed to if like the thing is done, at least to like the room, and then it feels good, but you did less than the next person, or the next person did less than you, whatever, then you're fighting for it. It's just like, no. Like, just get the project to be as best it possibly can, and then put it in the hands of someone else. And it's funny because it's like I was tripping on it today because I was on caffeine and I was like, yes, this is it. But I kind of can't stop thinking about the fact that I'm getting older, because I would never think that before. Not that I wouldn't think it in terms of like, I would want my ideas to be on the forefront at all. I would just either be like, if it's not my project, then I would love to give any ideas. And if you take it or you don't, fuck it. It doesn't make a difference. I just want to be I want to be a part of something cool like this. Or if it's my project, I'm just not considering anyone's opinion, period. And now I'm like, like I was talking to a friend and yeah, they sent over this pitch for a show that was basically a pilot. And it was long, so they were like, if you want to listen to it, you could, but you don't have to, whatever. I did yesterday on a walk. I think I have allergies. I don't know what's going on. My throat's scratchy, but I listened to it, and it was so good. It was so good. It was just so fucking good. It was so good. And the only thing I suggested as a critique was just like, when it comes to like what I've gathered working with like people in like that world on the business side, it's like they want something not brilliant, but they want it, and not stupid, but they want it. Like a good friend, Greg Kohler, said, the things that win are above average. That's it. It's not great. It's above average. That's the sweet spot. That's when you win. And her shit was not above average. It was great. It was great. And so I was like, oh yeah, like, you're directing and editing and writing, and like, I could see the whole thing, and you're not allowing them to use their imagination, because when they use their imagination, they're involved in a way where, like, unless you're telling them everything, then they might feel a little funny way about it. But anyhow, I was just thinking that, like, I know what I would want someone to feel regarding the book that I was outlining right now. Could be the second book, I guess. And I'm like, she could do it. Like, if I were to be like, here, this, and also this is my voice, and these are my strong suits. But I was also saying that, like, I'll come up with like one-liners and like metaphors or like references to something that would be like, here is the topic. Here are metaphors to suggest that to support the topic. And then here is the meaning. And it's just like, it's like a track list. It's like an album, you know? And with her stuff, it was like, it almost felt like it was like a braid. It was like, here's the topic, and then here are the metaphors, and then here's what I want you to learn. And then it's just like woven throughout. And like I'm like, oh man, this is funny. And oh man, I'm feeling emotional about this. And oh man, this is so cool. And I'm like, crazy to think that like I would probably write an outline and go further, but I would also probably be like, flip it, go for it, you know, like help out, you know? And this is such a weird feeling I've never felt in my life before. And it feels cool. But honestly, that's awesome that you're making it, pushing with this, even while confused. Yeah, well, PMM, I also think that like, yeah, thank you very much, Valley Girl. Thank you. I mean, I think that's it. You know, I think it's just like the difference. Because also, you know, I was thinking about, again, this channel and this channel in particular, but like, that's the thing, you know, it's just like, if I write a book and nothing happens and no one wants it or anything, I'll have, I also think that it truly, like not on some like universe shit, but I guess kind of, but like, if I do that and nothing comes of it, I will have done a thing that I will have built, that I've gained the skills for when the phone rings and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to write a book. I can write a book, you know? And like, I believe that. I really, really do. And so it's like, nothing is for nothing, you know? And I also think that, again, like the difference between like, I mean, I was thinking about Kobe again, because again, it's just like fresh on my mind, but I was thinking about inspiration, and it's such a funny thing where like, but things really do go a long way when you accept and live the process of, yeah, yes, I really see, yeah, for sure, you know, but I was just talking to myself about yeah, just inspiration, and that's such an awesome thing. Like, inspiration is so rad. Like, it's so rad. And it feels like it's like it feels like it's, yeah, it is funny. I mean, I really have to start this. I mean, like, again, this is like, it's like I'm starting on this book, and I really just started to make YouTube videos just to put it out, just to fucking get the shit going. But yeah, inspiration is like the lottery. You know what I mean? I think that because we have a hard time kind of explaining what art is to us, and then like, if you explain what art is to you, someone could have like an opinion that's completely opposed, and you, even with your definition of it, you could find theirs to be true too, you know? And you're like, it's a lot going on. And I think because there is no definition, it's just like when someone's talking about inspiration and shit, you're also just like stumbling upon this poetic whatever, like, oh yeah, it's what makes you get up in the morning. It's like you can't really explain it. And I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like I only want to work when I get inspiration from the muse. And that's cool for sure, but that's amateur, I think. I think that the people who show up every day are fucking, because it's like I think that the people who get inspiration, when inspiration strikes and they work well because of it, they get somewhere. But that also happens to the people who work every day, and they also probably, when they get the inspiration, they fucking work that same day too. You know what I mean? Like they also work to water that as well. And it's like I was just like writing, like it almost seems like inspiration seems like you're teleporting, and then if you teleport from like A to like D, and someone's just like, whoa, how did that happen? You're like, I don't even know. I don't know. I just want something woke up in me, and then I fucking did this thing and I was somewhere else. And that is cool, but that doesn't help someone. But when someone kind of like takes a long road and they fucking walk, they see the fucking, they see the flowers and the grass and fucking cigarette butts and fucking, bottles broken and people holding hands and bees and butterflies and whatever. Like, there is something that you gain from doing something every day and showing up for work, and then inspiration strikes, and then you're also going to work the next day. And it's just like Kobe being like, I just put in more work. Like I didn't know what Mamba mentality was at all. That fool just put in more work, He just like, oh yeah, cool. Like I don't get nervous because I'm prepared for this. What do you mean? I practiced my whole fucking life for this shit. Like what? Because there's lights on me now, I'm going to fucking feel a different way. Sure, there's like pressure in some regards, but he's also just like, this is just routine. It's not inspired divine movements. This is just, I've done this my whole life and I'm going to do it again. And then it either goes in or it goes out, or this person's having a good day or a bad day. And sometimes the basket is gigantic, and sometimes it's fucking, like the size of a fucking needle head or whatever the fuck. What is that? What am I trying to find? Thanks, Abby. Wait, inspiration is often followed the flow of what feels right, not always fighting and being so rigid about how something turns out, agree. You got to keep showing up. Yeah, I agree with that. We're like, but yeah, because again, I think that like I think that it's like if someone goes to work every time they get inspired, of course, of course, go to work when you get inspired, of course. But again, I'm like, that's like, again, the universe did you a solid, But like, yeah, to someone who like never gets inspired, or also even like whatever the thing is that would make someone show up every single day, like that obsession probably goes further than any type of inspiration does. Just like if there's someone who's like relentless about whatever, but then again, I was also writing too, but it's like, it's kind of crazy because in this creative space, it's like, there are people who do a lot less and they're a lot shittier and they go a lot further. And obviously that's subjective, the shitty part, but still that's true. There are people who you think are just objective geniuses and they die broke and nameless. And like, you just have to you have to be okay with these rules, and they're nonsensical. It's like, they're just so, I don't know. And I also think that one of the things I was thinking about in terms of writing for Mom, your energy today feels different than yesterday, Kev. Upgrade aura today for real. Really? That's funny. Well, another thing too is I thank you guys. I really thank you guys because again, I think I'm going to start doing stand-up, not because I'm funny or not because I'm a stand-up, but I think I'm doing it. We're live right now, which is kind of crazy. And I think that some people can get really, really like, it's daunting, and it is, it really is. But then doing it live where I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn how it feels also. Test out these things, but it's like, this is like, I'm being held accountable. Like I'm doing a thing, and I'm also documenting. And so I'm like, yeah, it's like, it's, I don't know, like this is me today. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is how I feel right now. But I also think too, it's like I was saying about taking a shit the other day, being regular in terms of like your work, where I'm like, I think it's also like what I've been taking in, and then also considering other people and then being like, okay, well, this is what I'm putting out today. And so I was also writing today about I lost my train of thought. It'll come in a second though. You could do a George Carlin type stand up. I get that vibe. I mean, well, the thing is, I wasn't even trying to tell jokes. I was just trying to write stories of mom and bits in that regard. And then if it lands in a room, I know I have something on paper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, like obviously like aura and vibe and rooms are real and energy is real, but at least it's like if, as opposed to me being like, oh, I think this is funny. If I get a laugh, I'm like, okay, you know, we've got something here. But one second, wait, Kobe showing up for work, whatever makes you start, whatever keeps you going. Laughter. Fucking, I can't remember. Again, it'll come. But oh wait, what I took in, what I watched. What did I watch? I did stumble on Rick Rubin stuff today, which was different to me. I like Rick Rubin a lot, but it's funny. He has this funny. I feel like he's like I feel like almost like some of his work is kind of like the king of the performative males by this point, or at least there's a meme that suggests that in my mind. But yeah, again, I just thinking about showing up and then being just relentless. Like I think that I'm not going to. I mean, it's like I'm inspired right now, but it's funny because it's like, oh, wait a second, it's I know what it is. So I was just thinking about, you know, regarding this stuff and mom, and oh my god, this is so funny to me. I mean, this is so fucking funny to me. But this is also weird too, because it's like really kind of thinking about like if I were to tell any story. I mean, I'm not a comedian. I never thought humor would be in my life. I mean, like I found things funny, but it's like I never thought I'd be in the world of funny in any way. And so if you're saying something that kind of is like humorous, like it was just like it reminds me of like Happy Gilmore, where I'm just like, if someone's like, oh yeah, you guys are great, I really love your comedy, I'm like, I'm not a comedian. You know, it's just like it's like, oh, I'm not a golfer, I'm a fucking hockey player. I just happen to be playing hockey right now. And it's like it's easy to kind of just like not give a fuck because Shooter McGavin is trying to fucking be, you know, trying to get a gold jacket his whole life, and Happy's just like, fuck it, just give me a big check. Like I'll just fucking play anything. I don't give a shit. It's a pretty good way to go through life. But so now it's funny because it's like there is this element of funny to us, and I'm like, is this funny? I don't know if it's funny. I don't think this is funny. Now I'm like critiquing what I found funny before, but I remember, this is funny. I don't care. It's objectively funny, but mom, like there were times when I could potentially be getting suspended or held back a grade because I didn't go to school so much. And my mom growing up would always be like, if it was raining or something, they wouldn't go to school. Because if one kid got sick, came back home, we all get sick, there's no one getting sick. So fuck that. No one's going to school, you know? And so, so she just had that, you know, she, whatever she had within her, she just kind of instilled in me, you know what I mean? Not considering I have my own life that I'm living, you know? Like I say, like 1947 Yugoslavia is a lot different than 1984 Beverly Hills. It's what the fuck do we have in common besides our bloodline, you know? And what you learn in the house, but also in that regard, I'm bringing things that I've learned from my world that are very different than whatever she brought in from her world. It's also very different than what my dad brought in. Where again, like I'm saying, if we're all in this, if they're both in the same place, then I was there too. I was born there. We're all on the same page here. So, or at least it's just that time is a bit different. You know, like time is a factor that's just like interesting. But I was saying, and again, these are like these like Substack things, or these are these whatever. But I was. One second. I'll get to. Okay, one second. Before so the thing is, what was funny was if I didn't want to go to school, I'm like, I don't want to go to school. And she's just like, fuck it, you know? And my dad was just like, bro, you can't let him not go to school. And then she was just like, what the fuck? You think he's going to be a doctor? Like, let him fucking stay home. But I'm like, in front of me, dude. And I'm like, fuck it, she's right. And like, I'm like looking over at her, at him, because I'm like, just listen to her. But I'm also just like, damn fool. Like, of course she doesn't think I'm going to be a doctor, because there's no way I'm going to be a fucking doctor. And so the thing is, though, like, I was writing, like my mom learned English, in her own words. My mom learned English from fucking Lucy. Obviously she learned it from Ricky, but mom learned English on TV, and her world was real, and the TV is not real. You know, like John Wayne's not real. Like, her life is real, and that thing is, it's a different thing. But then me, I'm like, well, no, I mean, like, look, there's directors and writers and producers and costume, and it's real too. You know, it's just like, what do you mean? Like, I went to a friend's house or something, and it's like, well, that's what he makes sets. And I'm like, okay, it's very real. I don't know. It's like, this is a real thing. Now, maybe to me as an option growing up, compared to her being like, that is just not, that doesn't exist. And so trying to explain to her that the world was real was like, it's like a known unknown. It's like she knows that it's real because she could see it. She could laugh at Lucy, but she doesn't know it's real in a way where it's an option to her at all, ever, or to anyone she's ever met in her life. There's no way. Like, if it's on the TV, it's a different thing. And also, again, like, TV is a lot different than like being on a screen right now. It's like I could film something and just post it, or because my phone, you know, I could take a photo on my phone and put it on a fucking monitor, and it's not like she's on TV, but she kind of is, you know, to someone of her age. And so the TV was a motherfucking TV when Lucy was on, you know? And she wasn't catching reruns. No, that's not true. She was catching reruns. But you know, the Golden Girls, she wasn't. And so yeah, that is like the known unknown. Her being able to be a part of this shit, me writing a book, these are unknown unknowns. These are like beyond. There is just no way. It's to the point where it's such no way that she'll fight me about it. You know what I mean? She'll be like, bro, no, there's no, like, she'll try to convince me that I'm wrong when I'm just trying to like kind of like help her. You know what I mean? Which is just fucking bonkers. But again, I totally understand. Like, how in the world could she assume I'm not a fucking lunatic by suggesting the fact that she is Lucille Ball? And I don't like that term, just because saying that you are someone else is like a second-rate version. She's Lily Hayes. And respectfully too, Lucy couldn't be Lily too. But it's just like, again, like, I think kind of showing up and doing the thing and whatever, like, it's like if you're there doing the thing, you're not trying to be someone else. When you were talking about discipline, I definitely took it to heart, and some of the other things you've discussed really have made me think, especially with Christmas and showing up. Dude, that's amazing. Wait, when I was doing my gratitude journal the other day, so I'm really grateful. I need these kind of talks. Dude, oh my God. Short kidding. Yes. Again, it's like, it's, you know, I was talking to mom about the forest, and I think, again, I kind of think, I think at best, I don't really know if someone could really water someone else's forest. I mean, I think you can metaphorically, but I think that the thing you could do really is you could kind of keep your forest watered to the point where it helps someone else water their own forest. Because I really do think that, like, the amount, like, all the outside validation in the world could still keep someone down and not be able to water their forest. So I think that it is about you keeping the forest watered, you know, growing, as opposed to, like, if you're like, oh, you need these kind of conversations where it's just like, I don't think I'm watering I think you're watering your forest, but I also feel like it's because I'm watering mine. And I feel like if we're all watering, granted, it's like metaphorical watering each other's forest. But, like, dude, hell yeah. Because it's like, you say that and I'm like, so I'm not fucking nuts, dude. If that's the goal, then like, all right, like let's get some people. You know what I mean? Wait, I'm going to the Masters next week, probably top. Oh, really? That's awesome. How? Where is the Masters? Um, Wait, that's wild to talk about. She's like, what the fuck oh my god, yeah, dude, she's completely nuts. What waters your forest? Uh, you know what's weird? I think that again, like it's so weird. I've never really watched Kobe. I've not like I mean, it's funny because it's like I this kind of happened with me with like some like kind of like did I ever tell you that I wanted to just so after my first tour I wanted to go to Reno and just get all the holy books and like meth. Actually, I'm not kidding. And just get my mind blown. Just like cool, like let it whatever needs to happen, let it happen. Like let's go on some like monk shit, like in like tweaker monk shit. Like I want to go to Reno, dude. And so the thing was, there were some times where I was like, some of these questions got asked when it came to like some like whatever people like I don't fucking know. But it was just like, I knew it almost seemed like some of the answers that they answered, I could understand the math that got them to the answer. And it might not be the math that I would show, but I'm like, oh, I know what they're going to say. And not that it's like, oh, whatever. But in some regards, there are a way of thinking and then you could kind of whatever. And so again, I say that to say Kobe, I'd never watched Kobe and I mean, I did, but like, I just didn't care about basketball, especially at the time. And he just has a mentality. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So like these people were asking him questions and I'm like, dude, how do you fuck with this guy and not know what he's going to say next? This is such a given. And it's not even like he'll get poetic about it, but it's like, you already know the answer to the thing. But one thing he was saying was, if you just like studied what he was saying, if you really took into consideration all the things that he was saying, and then you just were like, okay, well, what would he do in this situation? And it was also funny because there was a story that he told before I get to my point, but it was a big school in China and these dudes were running these drills and Kobe was just like, hey, yo, listen, if anyone doesn't touch the line, no one's getting shoes. Everyone's going to get shoes if you guys do it. If someone doesn't touch the line, no one gets shoes. And they were like, all right, fuck it. So they went and they were running and it was like a 2-hour something. And there was a kid who missed the line, and then he was just like, all right, done. At the end, it's like, done. No one gets shoes. And then it was just like, oh, fuck. And then it was like, you could kind of feel like a crowd being like, damn, homie, like fucking kids, man, give them shoes, And then he was just like, well, no, I got to teach him a lesson. It's just like the dude missed the fucking line. And he's just like, look, if I'm over here trying to be a teacher, fucking, if he shortcuts himself, because he's the only one that's going to get hurt. How's it going, Madonna? If he does this, he's going to keep on doing this. And also if he teaches this, or if someone realizes I don't get a pair of shoes, they'll help someone not shortchange themselves as well. And I was like, again, like, I'm like, that's harsh, but I'm like, I totally understand why he would say that because that's the way he is. Like he would never do that thing, period. And so again, it's funny because Kobe is Kobe to mom and Kobe is like Kobe to me. I love him, but it's different. And mom was like, oh, no way. That's not good. I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, this is funny because I was telling someone about Instagram a long time ago when they were playing music and I was referring to The Times They Are Changing by Bob Dylan and I was like, come gather around people wherever you roam and admit that the waters around you have grown and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone because the times are changing. Now, obviously the thing was, of course, if Bob Dylan was fucking 15 today, 16, 18 today, he'd be on fucking Bandcamp or Instagram or TikTok. That's not even a gift. It's like a given. Now, the thing is, I was just like, well, why do you have Bob Dylan on your wall if you're not going to fucking take his word seriously? Like, the times fucking changed, bro. And the same thing I would say to mom. I'm just like, well, why would you have Kobe on your fucking wall if you are not going to think like Kobe? Like, of course, don't fucking cut a corner. Don't do it. What do you mean? And also tell the person next to you, don't fucking cut the corner if you want the fucking shoes. But again, that's being a police. That's being police. Just do your fucking part. If you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be there and do the job, you do the fucking job. And so I guess the thing is, and this is obviously long-winded, but I was like, I understand, like, I feel lucky to the point where, like, maybe, I don't know if I had someone to prove. I don't think it's that, but I've just always wanted to work, and I didn't need someone to kind of help me get out of bed. And another thing Kobe said was like, if you need help to get to the gym, I don't even want to fuck with you. And I'm like, dude, fucking bars, you know? It's just like, it was like, I was writing about it today. Like, I don't even care if I was a coach and I was like speed dating players and I just heard them talking and I couldn't see them and he was just saying those things, I would be like, there's just no, who's going to stop this dude? Who's going to stop him? You know, I mean, like, this is not this. He's not talking about being better than you. He's just saying, I'm going to work harder and I don't even need to like you. If the goal is to win, then we're going to fucking get the thing and we're going to collaborate, like I was saying. But in my world, I was just always like, I liked seeing something done. And I was always like in awe at like cool stuff. And so that I thought was really rad. And I was just like, I want to make something that I could have something to show for after the fact. So I always just wanted to do things. But it wasn't until Instagram that I got any credit for anything really, besides with a small group of people who I also really loved and respected and admired, which I was really lucky about. But like, I wouldn't be doing this, you know? I mean, I would, but it's like for some reason, like a certain level of success, I don't even know what you really want to call it, what I would really call it, like gave me permission. But granted, I also had to start somewhere. You know, I had to fucking like me posting anything in the first place. Because I posted for a long time and no one really gave a fuck. And I was like, and that's also it. When I was writing about inspiration today, being this teleportation shit, I'm like, really trying to get to the heart of what would make someone keep on going when nothing is telling them they should keep on. Like nothing. Like there's no one gives a fuck. No one's showing up to shit. No one cares what the fuck you're saying. No one thinks that your work is good when no one gives a fuck. And you could feel when someone fucking just trying to support you because they're your friend, as opposed to like, it's like it's like if someone were to, Short Kitten is here, you know, and we're in it together. But like if someone said to me what Short Kitten said, I would be like, okay, well, that's real. And maybe I'm on to something and I could keep on going. But when like your mom, and she would be like, homie, you talk too much. You know, it's like I'm making reference to fucking Kobe and I don't ever watch basketball. And she's like, what do you know about Kobe? And I'm like, motherfucker, more than you. But also, no, I mean, again, I'm not even comparing like that. But I'm like, I get what he means. I might not watch it because I'm not watching basketball, but like I get the state of mind. But also, again, I'm tripping. I feel like for all I know, really too, it's like I was like tripping and things kind of clicked. I mean, you mentioned George Carlin. George Carlin said, you know, I forgot. I have a sweater and it's like something along the lines of like, sometimes little brain damage can help. Maybe it's really that. I'm not even kidding. Kev, tell me you have very little interest in sports without telling me you have very little interest in sports. I mean, I don't give a fuck about sports. I mean, they're fun. I like being around it, but I also, I like that. I like a lot of the work ethic of people motivating themselves in a way that's it's like you can't help but be inspired in some regards if you just hear them out, you know. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl for golf, but you basically have to win the lottery to go. Wait, why do you have to live in how come? I thought you have to be like, don't you have to be the best or one of them? Kev, what kind of people interest you, or do you find yourself typically becoming friends with? I mean, I guess I'm friends with a lot of artists. I'm friends with a lot of people who becomes obsessive over things that are like really kind of weird, you know? Um but I don't know. I fuck with everyone really. I mean um like I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's also like if you're talking about like girls in my life or something, I feel like my like longest relationship was with someone who was just like totally like constant. Like I'm the most regular person. I mean, like I think that like, but also it's funny because at the time, a lot of this stuff didn't really happen yet. So I was saying this stuff, but I was also saying even like when like Fuzon Wild really got started, it was just like nothing changed but the numbers. Like we all just did this, but then people found out, and then nothing changed but the numbers. But like they would very like you're nuts, bro. Like you're it's like you could go on forever about whatever. And also I was very like um whatever I was reading at the time, I could kind of like metaphorically use that as a text in order to just explain what I think about life in general, which was just a little bit funny, you know, where I'm like, you know, Victor Hugo said, or fucking yeah, like yeah, kind of always, Yeah. It's a funny one. He meant to get a ticket. Oh, it's incredible. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Sick, Galants. Are you big on tennis? Are you big on golf? I have quite a few golf metaphors in my books, just because. Again, even with the sports metaphors, it's like I always thought that like sports was like being on a team and fighting some people on a team is one thing, but I kind of think that like life is really like golf. It's like you're up against yourself. You're up against your thoughts and the elements, and how you're going to kind of approach the next swing more so than like you're up against your opponent. Because if someone has a good day on the soccer field, you're fucking this you're going to be in trouble. If you have an off day, they have a good day, that's all bad. I mean, but you're up against yourself when it comes to golf. I'm big on it. Golf is life. Respect, dude. But I just felt like you have lived such crazy lives where you've dabbled in so many things that I'm curious what kinds of. Well, I think all of it. I mean, like it's funny too. It's like I don't know, when I was touring a lot. Like it's funny because it's like some people were like, oh yeah, all these like uh yo, how's it going, John? How's it going, Jason? All good, man. We're here. We're hanging out, dude. Um, but when when I was touring, it was just so many people. It's like always. I remember like it dawned on me like every single day of the week for us is essentially someone's Friday or Saturday if they were going to go see the show, and if it was like a Tuesday night, they were like, "We're going out, we're going drinking, whatever," and it was just like Tuesday, just like, dude, let's go to bed early, And so many people just thought that like all these musicians were like so interesting, and I did too, but I'm like, they're fucking boring, It's like they're boring too. So everyone is, and so I was always just more interested in like the people in the town, wherever. It was also so funny. I remember I was working with this one band, kind of on the tail end when I was leaving, but oh man, yeah, I won't say any names just because it's not even anything bad, but it was just whack. But because it was management whack. But anyhow, I wanted to do something where like we had to. I was gonna make an ad uh for a live, like a tour, but like a live album and a tour or whatever. And I was like, I'm just gonna go and interview people on this. I'm gonna interview people in the crowd. And for one thing, it was funny because it was a long time ago by this point, but also it was short enough where like kind of anyone could kind of carry a camera. Granted, mine was a little bit bigger than people would carry at the time, so it might be a little bit more professional, if you will. But then regardless, I was like there talking to people, and people definitely didn't think I was with the band. They were just like, "Oh yeah, cool." Like, sure, I'll answer these questions, but like, you don't have to lie, you know. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm with the band. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I have credentials, you know, whatever. Um, and it was funny because it was just like, you know, people being drunk and this and that, and it was like awesome. And I was just asking them questions like, "What was your favorite song? What would you like for the show? What would you like whatever this and that?" And then there, I was like, "Oh my god, this is great," because as opposed to like me making some ad, I was just like, "Well, I'll just do these testimonials, then we'll just put them out on like Facebook or whatever." And like anyone who's in it are gonna be so happy they're in anything that has to do with you guys that this is just a win. It's like a good idea, you know? And also just like it it's like let them talk to them. I mean, like I feel like one of my strong suits is just like when I get geeked about something, like I'm a fan. So I'm not over here being like as an art director being like, well, this is the best case scenario in terms of this fucking the feng shui of this album. I'm just like, nah, man, this is what I want to see. You know, it's like even like with like Rosebud being like, make a coffee table book, let it be the 99 laws of whatever. And I'm like, that is probably what someone would like more so than just like the whole thing. And again, you guys have a better sense than Rosebud does, but also, and I love you guys, but you guys probably don't have the best because you're just in it. You know what I mean? Like, you know these stories, and we could tell them in a different way, but like you're already there. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, if I'm thinking of the people who like, the people who are on Instagram who never, there are people who were at the show the other day that was like, you guys stream, and it's like, whoa, yeah, you know. But anyhow, um, I was like, yeah, you know, like I think the crowd talking to the crowd would be best case scenario because this is what I would want to see for sure. Like I would love to hear you guys talk, but like you guys, I don't want to hear you sell some shit because it just, I don't want to, you know? And so then there was this couple and they were older and they were like, they were older, they were older nerds. I don't know what to say. You know, I mean, they're me. I don't know. I mean, and so, but again, I asked anyone. I wasn't discriminate on anything, you know. And I asked, and they were like, yeah, "This guy's not with the band." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you." And I was just like, he just like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm going to Santa Barbara tomorrow." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there too, dude." And I was just like, "Yo, do you, you know?" And so anyhow, so we're going. I asked him a bunch of questions, and he just like totally he nailed it. Like he was just like, you know, it's also like I was asking him questions that weren't just like as simple as what's your favorite song? It's like he responded with something. I was like, oh yeah, do you know that song is about? When they were like, oh, whoa, cool. And they were like, oh, and it kind of like dawned on him, like I really was in, you know? And he was the best. He was the best interview for sure. And again, like his like wife was in a wheelchair and they were the best. They were the best. And he was just like, oh man, that was really fun. Like, I really hope to see you tomorrow if you could find. And I was just like, yeah, man, like before the show, like let me know. I'll get you a set list. And he was just like okay, cool. And then I fucking did, of course. I fucking went, I got a thing, I got a set list signed, I fucking found him, and I was like, oh yeah. And he was just like, oh my God, this is real. And I'm like, I fucking told you, man. And then it was crazy. I went and I did like a little edit, and I was like, well, look, I could have one edit, but realistically, I should make it a 10-minute video and just have like a bunch of like little edits, like 30 seconds, and just like kind of put them out. And then people who are in it will be so stoked and whatever. And one of the manager dudes was like, are there any like younger, cool? And I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what the fuck? Did you hear what these people? These are people who keep the fucking lights. These are people who are like running the show, dude. They're running the fucking show. It's like, and again, had nothing to do with the band. The band had no idea. And they were like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, you know, it's like someone just like spilling their guts about these people who they love. Obviously, no one's gonna be mad at that. But then in terms of, I guess, like an ad, these people were like, is there a way you could make it a little bit more like punchy and this and that? And I'm like, dude, this is the best thing. What the fuck is wrong with you? And yeah, like it was like, it's like, oh my God, yeah, no, but this was my life. Like this is basically, these are the times where I was just like, okay, listen, like there's nothing I kind of want to do here anymore. I'm going to kind of move on to whatever. And it was also funny because one of the people who were like really telling me about like, hey, can you like kind of like make this younger? This was not my friend, but he asked me to make a music video, and I was just like, no. I'm like, I'm done. It was like, oh, you got other work? And I'm like, and it was a big deal. And I was just like, no, I don't really. I don't have any other work, because in my mind, it just dawned on me that I was just like, I'm going to focus on mom. That's it. It's the only thing I have. It's the only thing I could do. And also the craziest part, and it's the fucking gnarliest part, was working with all these bands. They were nice. They were great. There's no artists I didn't like. They're the business people. That's a different story altogether. But they were also doing their part too. Like, I'm not even like faulting them, because it was like the tides were changing, and they didn't know what they were doing. Their degrees couldn't help my fucking wrath or the internet. And, you know, and so, yeah, it was hard, because I was like, dude, no, I'm going to leave, and I don't have anything lined up. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I thought that the worst was behind me, because I was just like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to work with mom, and she's not going to kind of like fight back. And she is the hardest fight. I would work with dude, working with a band that is kind of indifferent towards, I mean, they're not at all, but they're kind of indifferent towards like how they're being, like showcased by people who they respect. Awesome. Business people who are like, well, we want to sell as many records as possible, and we want it to be, there's a timeline, there's a deadline. That's a cakewalk by this point. Me kind of convincing mom that like that like Star Wars is real is infinitely harder. I thought it was going to be the easiest thing. I was just like, oh my God, she's never going to fucking talk back, this and that. A nightmare. The worst. It's the hardest thing for sure. Mom is 100% the hardest fight I had to fight by a long shot. Also, that shirt with the GS in the background is sick. Wait, that shirt with the GS. Not what I'm wearing, is it? No. That shirt with the GS. How's it going, Sean? Yo, can't stay. How's it going, Evan? But yeah, it's so nuts. But Hans, you were saying those people were so much cooler than a lot of the people who like, I mean, I love the artists and everything, of course, but like those people were so much cooler or so much more interesting than people who I think people thought were interesting, you know, or like just assume, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, some people just kind of like, they also kind of like on some respect shit. They just go and they do the shit and they fucking leave, you know? And they just do their job and they leave, and people think that their job is so exciting. And it is, but I don't know, like those dudes just fucking, I meant the green screen. Oh yeah, word. Yeah. It's an old Mika Miko shirt. My friend Kilby gave it to me, but yeah, it's green on green. I wasn't really thinking about it. But thanks, dude. How are you guys? I'm really ranting, but also if I were to make a book, wait, should I do a book of 99 Laws of Lily? I got 99 Problems and Lily's one. Should it be a book of rules? Should it be Joe DiMaggio? Should I start off like that? One thing also Rosebud said was go off, put a notebook down, get a notebook in your pocket, take walks, 2 months, write about just the outline, and then make a decision. Or not even a decision, but just kind of like, just reflect after a few months. And I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Even though kind of like also in my head, I'm like thinking about doing the way more ambitious one and being like, oh, I'll knock this shit out in 6 months. How are you doing? Greetings. How's it going, Poland? I'm good. I'm in the midst of figuring out how to write a book on mom. And it's been a little bit tricky. You know, I mean, it's exciting, but it's weird. Yes, on 99 Laws of Lily. Jason, would you would you rather read a book, or would you rather see a book, or would you rather get a book of mom's lessons or mom's story? But also, if I say mom's story through me, there's not even a chance that book is even in the runnings of books about mom. But yeah, mom's story or mom's lessons. I think that should be a section of the book, but not the entire book, if that makes sense. Oh, you mean the laws of Lily? Well, one thing I was saying, Lily is such a treasure. I agree, dude. Thank you very much for saying so. Well, one thing I was saying to Rosebud, which I do also, and I really think that this is kind of like, it's just more work on my end, but fuck it. But I was thinking about telling the story, like me, the raising mom, like the idea I have in mind of raising mom, and then where mom kind of comes in with quotes would be kind of like the 99 Laws of Lily, but that be the second book. Or maybe if it's like I just go, or really what I was really thinking, Mom's Lessons, a long interview with her. See, that's a different thing altogether. But so one thing I was thinking is I'm gonna write 2 proposals. I'm gonna start on the Raising Mom book just to do, and then propose both books to someone at the time, because she also was just like, oh yeah, I'll introduce you to my editor, where I'm like, Jesus Christ, like awesome. But like if I have a fucking Simon & Schuster editor, I might as well just be like, well, look, this is what I think. I have these 2 things, and be completely honest, just like Life Through Lily Hayes' Eyes. The only problem with that is it wouldn't be funny. It would be very serious. 0 fucks given Lily Hayes' way. See, I think that that's also like, see, this is good because this is not what I have in mind. This is more like a Lily book. Because mom is like, it's funny too, because again, like I'm saying, she's the hardest fight, because she's just like, she doesn't see the value in her, and she's just like, Kevin, you've got all the good ones. And it would be really kind of, I mean, I could figure it out, but she would be like, I don't have anything to say. You know, I mean, like it would be pulling teeth in that way. I would rather hear mom's story at first, with the rest based on heavy focus on her lessons. That's Jason. That's kind of what I'm suggesting. Well, again, if best case scenario would be if I propose both books, they're like, cool, let's take it as a package. And then however the fuck they want to put it out. You know what I mean? Where like one of them is going to be the story, like the fucking story. And the other ones are just like, you know, the house always wins. Let her go off and say whatever. But again, I think that with the house always wins, maybe if I made it a little silly in terms of the question I ask her, she can kind of come off and like go off the top of her head. But really, when the house always wins, she's just going to be very like, it'd be simple. She's like, don't go to Vegas. She'll be like, you know, because again, I think that too, like one of the reasons why we don't make YouTube videos is because if I'm asking her a question, she's just answering it to me straight. When I'm prodding her, she's yelling at me, and then you guys are like hearing it. You know what I mean? Not sure. No, that makes total sense, Jason. Like 100%. That would be the lessons book. It would grab my attention on the shelf. But last time I checked, what she sees with her eyes is batshit crazy. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. But the only problem is, and that's kind of it. I mean, we could also kind of like, I could kind of make it where we're writing the book when we stream. But dude, I got an apartment to write with mom, and she was like, I'm not doing this. I don't care. I'm not doing this. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I got a lease, man. Like, what the fuck do you mean you're not doing this? And she was fully like, she's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go. I'm all in. And I'm like, even trying to like propose, like, again, like she speaks numbers where I'm just like, hey, yo, listen. So like, this is the rent. This is how much it's going to cost for a year. This is our investment for the year. And let's fucking make something when we're done with let's have something to show for at the end of this year. And I had the whole thing fucking set up, and she just like, nah. And also it's funny too. I think one of the reasons why I'm so fucking on Kobe's team is she hustled me. She was just like, yeah, let's go. And then her work ethic is fucking shit. That's the thing. And that really is the thing. Where again, if we're just going like this, it's not real, you know? It's not me. I mean, granted, like my friend published at Little Brown, and my other friend published at Simon and Schuster. So far, who I've talked to, if we went to either of those places, they're the same thing to mom. There's no difference to mom. Granted, if we went into any one of those places and they mentioned anything in a very serious way, she would start getting nervous. I would be like, sounds fucking good. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll fucking, whatever you need, I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I will fucking do the job. There's one thing mom does. She goes like this every so often, like under her, like to her like knees and stuff. And she's really shook, you know, when it comes to like someone else and someone doing whatever, where she would be like, I don't know, man. Like this is over my fucking pay grade, you know? And I'm like, what, man? Again, like, I'm like, there's no way in the world. There's no way. Again, these things over here are, this is why I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying the easiest thing for me to do, which would also be impossible, would be writing the book on parenting my mom, simply because the things I'm saying over here are coming from a real place where I'm like, okay, if we say yes to this, we have to show up and do work. This is easy. You know, it's like if we, you know, like let's say no to someone if they're saying if they're asking us if we could fly a car. Don't say yes because someone's just like, oh yeah, like we'll figure it out along the way. Because some things are just absolutely insane. Like some things are like, I'm not going to sit around and say I could walk from here to New York because I'm not going to. But if someone's going to be like, well, look, I'll give you a book deal. I'll be like, I could write a book. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. I rock with where you're going. Thanks, Jason. Thank you. Number one, be healthy. You got another apartment, or did I miss something? No. I mean, after COVID, I left mom. I mean, I was in New York and then I came here because of the Phoebe Bridgers music video. I was stuck with mom. Things cracked on TikTok. I couldn't go too far from her. She lost her job. So then I was just like, all right. So then I was like, dude, like, there's no way in the world I'm going to fucking stay under the same roof as her forever. No way. She's my mom. Absolutely not. And so I moved somewhere not too far to kind of like keep it close, but to have my own room. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, look, this is weird, but also the world was weird. I was like, dude, like I wasn't expecting to be under the same roof with her for 2.5 years. Inseparable, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, if we're here for 2.5 years, I could be here for another 2.5. I mean, I don't know. The world is fucking nuts. So then once it was just like, okay, like everything is like opening back up like hard as fuck. I was like, all right, well, we have something here. Let me move out, but be close enough where we do something, you know, where we could do something together. So that's what we did. But the thing was, the last job I had, or the first job we had once we kind of, things opened up, was with John Bryan. John Bryan, obviously, as you know, is one of my heroes. I was like, he was like, oh yeah, man, I got you with some music if you need. And I'm like, awesome, man, I'm working on a movie. I was going to figure it out. So I was like, yo, mom, let's get a fucking place and let's fucking write a movie. That's it. Let's write a movie. I was like, dude, like everything's in place. Like, it's like we have people who give a fuck. We have a foundation. We have offers. I mean, there were people who were from production companies that really wanted to do stuff with us. I was like, look, even just to get our foot in the door, I was like, well, let's try to figure something out where we give John his rate, whatever the fuck that is. God knows what the fuck that is. And then we'll get paid on the back end, where I'm like, dude, if we have John and Fiona and mom and whatever, and I'm trying to make Dolomite, and that was a Dolomite movie, The Madam. And it's good. It's good. I know it's good. But I was even just like, I mean, I sat down being like, hey man, like, let's just come up with names. And she's like, I've never written a movie before. And I'm like, what the fuck does that matter? Like, what in the world does that matter? Got it. I thought that might have been, no. But so it was like, again, this is also kind of like when I'm like a bit stricter in the simple sense that I'm just like I learned the hard way. Mom was a nail in the coffin, but I'm like, if someone is going to spend their effort and a second of my time being like, isn't it crazy that the world is, get out of my fucking face. Give me someone who's just like, yo man, you want to build a fucking rocket, I'm like, yeah, fucking nuts. Like even if we don't do it, at least we'll be moving somewhere. Like something in me will be growing that I think will be beneficial in the long run compared to being like, yeah, I don't know, man. You know, it'd be easier if we wrote a hit and it was the music industry was still like the 90s. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, this is like you're using your brains in these metaphorical Twilight Zone situations that only fuck you. You know, it's like, it's only like, yeah, dude, doesn't it suck to be alive right now? I'm like, okay, I'm done, you know, as opposed to being like, yeah, man, of course, you know, you should, what I think you should do is you should write a short book in the first place. And then the second book should be, and I'm like, all right, cool. Here's some fucking positivity on some insanity shit. And then also her being like, yeah, it took me fucking 4 years and it was a nightmare. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, that sucks. But also, like, that is infinitely more interesting and exciting to me. I would rather, like, be bummed and bleeding out by doing something that I think is good than like, yeah, again, like fighting like even the other yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before. No, probably yesterday. When I was like, I mean, even if it was a Magical Mystery Tour, she's just like, how is that going to happen? She's not like, well, she doesn't dream in that way. She's just logical in a way where everything ends up being like, nah, that's not going to work out. Like, it's like, how is that going to happen? How would that even be possible? As opposed to like dreaming about the thing and then kind of like figuring out how it could be possible while you're in it, or finding someone who's able to help out with it. Because also, which is, I mean, granted, I mean, we did work in terms of building an audience and coming up with a bunch of stuff, but like, I'm sure there are, really great writers that don't have as many doors open as we do at the moment. But I'm also just like, I helped open those doors. Mom helped open those doors. Like, people are helping. It's like nothing was free. You know what I mean? Nothing was like handed. So even right now where it's like, like when we met Rosebud on Subway Takes, it was like she knew about us pre Subway Takes as well as the Subway Take landed. So she's just like, oh yeah, they could do it, But if you did a lessons book first, you wouldn't need much input from her. It's all in the live streams in memory. No, I think that could be the case. That would be the like, yes, I think that would be a little bit more so. The only thing is, I wonder if that translates. But I mean, also, again, I'm thinking about coming up with the two proposals. Like if I'm sitting with someone and being like, look, here's a pitch deck. Here's our resume. Here are the ideas I have. Here's a sample of the ideas I have. If I just find the right person that could see that vision, then we're good. Because yes, mom could not, 1 second. Wait, that's so funny. Mom just sent me a text message from the dentist. This is not her. Hello, Kevin. I'm from Smile Boutique, Beverly. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, because the thing is, like, I would basically just be prodding mom with questions and just recording her and then kind of transcribing. I also wonder, do you think that would translate into a book? Well, maybe that would just kind of go. Yes, I think that's a challenge for a lot of people. We don't always have to know how to do something. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's like, by this point in my life too, like Han's asking like what like inspires or whatever, I'm like, the idea of not knowing how to do something is the last thing in the world that's going to stop me from doing something if I want to do it. I mean, granted, it's just like I'm not over here being like I'm gonna become like a professional skateboarder or some shit. You know what I mean? Or like I'm gonna be a fucking I'm gonna learn how to fucking be a professional tennis player or something. Where it's like that's beyond for sure. But yeah, writing a movie, I could learn how to do that. You know, and I also think that like I said all the time, even about the movie idea I had in the first place was whatever we lack in kind of like technique or storytelling, we'll make up for in like heart, you know, like it'll be silly in a way that's probably going to be more beneficial for the story than like if it was just a perfectly done story. But yeah, I mean like yeah, I'm with you. I think that people are very 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 good at talking themselves out of shit. And I'm just nutty enough to be like, well, kind of like, why not? Why not us? You know, it's like, I don't know. But also it's true too. I think that it's like I was saying yesterday, that some people just like live in different eras completely. In today, like today, there are people in the 90s. I know them. Today, there are people in the early 2000s. I know them. There are very much so people who are living in the moment right now. Like this is their golden era. And hopefully it's not the end of it, but they'll also be like, ah man, you know, um, I mean, even like Kanye West is coming to town, and it's like Kanye today is a trip compared to Kanye before, but also, you know, just like seeing memes being like, oh, Kanye 2016, and then seeing these videos of just like streetwear 2016 and like I don't even know what record that was, Life of Pablo or something. And people are still there. People are still there. Like right now, they're still there. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think that the reason why I'm even taking into consideration the fact that I can read a fucking book or watch a YouTube video and learn how to write a movie or a film or a book is because the time is like the again, I'm not trying to be I don't think I'm gonna be fucking Martin Scorsese or fucking, you know, it's like the level to ante up is a lot cheaper. You know, it's like effort could put your foot in the door. You couldn't have done that when Magnolia was coming out. You needed every single thing. You needed to sell the people, you needed to get the money, you needed to do the thing. I mean, I was thinking about, you know, starting the movie on rock and roll, and I'm like, I just need to fucking I think I'm gonna shoot on VHS. I just need to buy tape. You know, it's like I don't need shit. I don't. It's like I need a YouTube channel. I need a fucking Gmail account. You know, and it's like, and if it's good, then it's good. Compared to yeah, I mean, like I think that like some videos that I've made of mom could probably have gone viral on some like outsider underground film fest, like the fucking Winnebago Man. But I'm also just saying that like I am an old school bro, but I am very much living right now. I'm streaming to you guys right now. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you can be the best version of you, and that's all you need to be. Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I think that like yes, if you like, I was watching this thing on like it's funny. Like I really don't know why it happens. But it really is funny. Like when when I'm like working out, like I'll watch like a podcast or something, or I'll like listen to a podcast, or I'll like watch some like whatever. And like it really does kind of like has a tendency to kind of go in the direction of like the manosphere or whatever the fuck. And so one thing led to another, and I was like, you know, the one video bled into another, and then I was watching this like money guru guy, whatever, you know, money guy. And I just didn't stop, you know? And so one thing he said was just like, you know, a good way to, and I think this is a perfect example of like when I just kind of, I'll use whatever I'm watching at the time to kind of like metaphorically talk about like whatever the fuck I think in my brain. Um, but he was like, he was like, every time you get a check, every time you go to work, you take out 10% and you pay yourself first. And I'm like, that's just such good advice. And it's just put so beautifully because it's like, if someone were to be like, oh yeah, when you get a check, save, that's boring. You don't want to fucking save, you know, it's just like, oh, but like putting in 10% of your check into whatever, the S&P 500, and then letting your money work for you and compound over time is the best decision for you. And the reason why I'm just saying that is because, yes, I think being the best version of you, I think that the real test is if you can make your younger self proud or wherever the fuck you are, and then you're paying yourself for the future, in the future. It's like if I were to write a book and it goes nowhere, and now I have the skills of writing a book, when I'm 50, I'm positive some of those skills will come into play. And it's like I could also just have this idea and be like, oh well, if this isn't gonna happen, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not saying I'm not investing in myself, but I think that if I were to kind of like put more on the plate, it would be helping invest in myself tomorrow. I mean, the stuff that I did with some of the bands, I mean, on this channel doing alternative theories of physics. I mean, it was essentially a vlog, and because I did it, I got a lot of work because of it. And it was just because I showed up and I just did it. And no one told me to. And I mean, dude, Viacom hit me up and shit. And I was just a bit like, I just got fucked over enough times where I was just like, okay, well, if I make something, I want to direct and edit it. And they were like, well, you're not really in the position to. And I'm like, well, I made this thing and I did have proof of concept. And I wouldn't have if no one told me to do it anyhow. Yeah, Jason, wait, you miss 100% of the shots. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, all those shits are real. I mean, yeah. And so, yeah, I think that thing, I think that if you get to a place where you're like, oh man, like I've come a long way. And I think that like my younger self would be like, oh man, that's awesome. And even if you don't even accomplish anything, but you're really trying, you're just trying, awesome. And also it's funny because it's like, I have a friend who, he's a good friend. I haven't seen him for a long time. I should hit him up. But he I think he went to therapy for like whatever issue. And he's a real go-getter and he's really serious and practical. And he's just a go-getter, he's a stand-up bro. And this therapist was just like, said this and that, whatever. And they were like, oh, but did you do your best? And he was just like, my best? Like, hell no, I didn't do my best. And I just couldn't stop laughing at that, where I'm like, I don't even think, like, doing your best is hard. Where I'm like, if you're just trying in the right direction, like that, respect, dude, respect. So it's like, even if you don't accomplish it, but you're doing and you're working and you're trying to go in a certain direction, and the direction is whatever, self-fulfillment or success or self-actualization, anything that makes you feel good, whatever. That's awesome, dude. You're killing it. And so if your younger self is looking at you being like, dude, awesome. But then again, if you keep on doing and you're trying in the direction you really want to go in, you're investing in yourself in the long run. I think it's going to be it's just going to be net positive no matter what way you cut it. I don't care what you're doing, even if it's like, yeah, like if I'm writing a movie and the movie doesn't get made, but I'm going to learn something along the way. You inspire me in that specific sense of just fucking trying. Like, who the fuck cares what happens, but applying yourself to, yeah, I don't give, dude, how's it going on? I mean, that is like, what more in the fucking world could I ask for? Like, that's it. It's also funny too, because Kobe was talking about with the mama mentality in like a very big way. He was just like, beyond, he ended this one, whatever. It was also such a lame thing because I'm sure there are people who are just fucking taking his words and fucking making, YouTube money because of it. But he was just like, he just ended with like, hey, yo, don't even consider what I did. Just consider the how I did it. And he was just like, just the ethic, just the process. And I'm like, dude, I really pick up what the fuck this dude put down, but also it's like, speech is only, Andre said, speech is only reaches those who already know about it. Where I'm like, Jason, it's like, you guys get this. If this is making any sense to you, it's like something within anyhow, you already have it. I'm just kind of like, it's like a I don't know, like if you have like a puppy inside you and it's just like I'm over here being like, hey, yo, what's up? And like it gets excited or something, you know, it's just like someone's here to play. It's like you already got that in you, you know what I mean? Um, where one of the last pillars of the mama mentality is just like, oh yeah, like to win a championship is one thing, whatever, but like to give the mentality to someone is the biggest. And I'm like, oh yeah, like oh yeah, that's cool because it also seems it's just like acts of service, you know. It seems like AA shit where it's just like, oh yeah, like if this is helping someone, that's it because everyone wins, you know. Um, best is subjective. Absolutely trying. Yeah, for sure. Well, also, I mean, dude, talking to the homie that gave me the shirt, I always used to say that, like, because it's like we have the same taste, and yeah, it's subjective, and it's like we just happen to like the same shit, so we could kind of relate on that pretty easily on what's good to us. But oftentimes, it's like I like shit done shitty and he's so amazing and so detail oriented and he's so good at what he does that sometimes it's too good for what I like. He's so good at what he does that it's better than what I think is right for the project. And that being the subjectivity, being like I say it all the time, right is better than great. Because it's also like because again, right could be anything and it's subjective, but like it's like, and again, I'm not saying right like you have this like infinite whatever, like you'll never know what the right thing is, but like making a decision that makes you feel good and you're like, oh, I feel strong about this, and it's not the best angle or the lighting could be off or there could be this on the green screen and it's just like, bro, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's just like, also again, it could be pretty too, but it's like, yeah, right lands a lot. You ignore that shit is a powerful tool. Oh, you ignite that shit, and that's a powerful tool. Well, thanks, dude. I mean, this is always kind of been, yeah, dude, thank you, man. And again, look, you, and I also say this too, you saying that, again, the fire's getting bigger. Both, you know, we're both throwing, you know, twigs on each other's fire. You know what I'm saying? Kev, do you have a favorite philosopher? Your mom doesn't count. No. I mean, I guess it's, I mean, no. I mean, Socrates is pretty sick, but also like him being the myth of like Plato, if that's a thing. I don't know. I mean, I like questioning all this stuff, but also, I mean, Aristotle's like the guy. But I don't know. I think that I don't know if I've like come across like anyone like, I don't know, fuck Kierkegaard or something where I'm like, I just like identify with all the things. I kind of look at it like I was telling someone about music in New York last time I was there, and they were like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, and I'm like, oh, cool, and they were like, how do you like it? And I'm like, I don't really know. And they were like, oh, that's weird, like you always have like an opinion. And I'm like, well, when it comes to some of that kind of shit that I like, I don't even like, it's just another thing. I want it all. Like I'm not over here being like I like this and I don't like that. I'm just like I guess I don't necessarily like EDM, but like I'll go to a rave and I'll listen to the music and I'm just like, oh cool, I want to like figure it out and just experience it. So I also think it's like that. Like I don't really identify with almost anything besides my parents' kid, really. So I don't really have a favorite one. But I mean, like, again, in terms of bars, it's like Victor Hugo's got insane shit. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I just I like anything that gets me from anywhere. That's another thing. Again, I kind of like, this is a thing in the book, and again, it could be a heavy or something, and maybe I think it's just the two, and then pitching the thing. But my dad used to kind of like kind of make me understand or suggest that like everything could be as heavy as like the heaviest thing. And my mom had this tendency to be like a priest has an answer or something, you know what I mean? Like a rabbi knows what's up, or like, you know, like Ramadan will really teach you the ways, you know what I mean? And I don't disagree per se, but I'm like, again, like these are just heavy thoughts, and like the people who are kind of explaining it, they're explaining it in a heavy way. And my dad was just like, oh my God, like motherfucking Richard Pryor I mean, George Carlin, like, just there's bars in here. Like, these are things that people could say these things and it'll affect you, and you could change your life because of a truth, and it doesn't make a difference where it comes from. And I'm like, bars, homie, like, yeah, like, holy shit. And so I think too now, like, there being a chapter in the book about Christmas, and now I've brought in the Christmas tradition in terms of our family these days. And she does look at It's a Wonderful Life as heavy as anyone who's the heaviest saying anything heavy. So I think that it's just kind of like that. It's like, I don't kind of care where it comes from, but I guess, what is that? That's Buddhist. I don't care where that comes from. It's just, as long as if it resonates, I run with it. You know what I mean? And I go. It's also kind of like Baha'i, where like anything, like I believe in all of it, I guess. But but no, I'm like, yeah, I don't really have a favorite, but I love bars. What is your ultimate big goal? I mean, really, like, it's gonna be simple. Just, I want to work all the time and be happy. It's, again, it's pretty boring. But I also I'm dead serious, man. It's just like, Jason, some of the stuff that you said today, it's like I'm in the success bracket already. It's like I would probably, as my younger self, would say that, like, a stranger saying those things would be the goal. And it's pretty crazy because it's just like, it's a 4:22 on a fucking Tuesday afternoon, and like, kind of crazy to really think, honestly. But but yeah, I mean, but just, make a movie. We're just really like, because again, about social media and stuff, because there's going to be a moment in the book about David Hockney's mom, and that was what inspired me to do something about my mom, because I love David Hockney's photographs of his mom. And I made a decision somewhere down the line that I was just like, well, do I want to be nostalgic towards my dreams and be like, I want to do what David Hockney did with his mom? And I have this idea of, like, people put a lot of weight on how their heroes did the thing, like how their heroes got to the place or inspired them. They want to go down that road. And me as well at a time, but then somewhere down the line, I was on tour and I was like, do I want to have a coffee table book, or do I want to connect with people through mom? And it's funny because it's like I just changed all of the trajectory, and now I'm infinitely closer to a coffee table book of mom than I would have been if I just studied photography. You know what I mean? Which is just nuts. I got that dog in me, dude. Yeah, she's nervous as hell and pisses herself sometimes, but she's trying her best. Yeah, that's awesome. Same, dude. Yeah, same. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yes. That's fair. That makes sense from a perspective. Yeah. But you want to work all the time, apparently, because you're a Taurus. Is that what Taurus do? I mean, I just want to, like, yeah, I mean, I like to do. Yeah, I mean, I remember too, like, I have a friend who's like he's like an engineer, but he blew my mind a long time ago because he just liked to fix shit. And I was like, what? I was like, I just didn't understand because I don't know how to fix anything. And he would, like, just fix amps and pedals and pedal boards, and he made guitars and stuff. And I'm like, wait a second, like, when your amp breaks, like, you don't take it to the shop? And he's like, no, I fix it. And I'm like, what the fuck? You fix this? And again, I mean, I was 20 fucking 6. I just didn't even see, like, like, no one I knew worked on cars and shit, like just like, I didn't know someone who did. And I was just like, what do you want to do in your life? He's like, I want to build a house where I could fix anything. Like, I want to build a whole thing from ground up, all of it, and be able to fix anything that was in it. And I'm like, that is insane, because that is the last thing in the world I want to do. And yeah, it's like he felt like the sense of accomplishment more than most people I've ever come across in my life. And I just related not on that at all in terms of, like, how he did it, but I'm like, yeah, I like to do stuff, and a lot of stuff. And I want to keep on doing stuff. And, like, whoa, crazy, you know? But that's kind of it. Yeah. That's kind of my life, Yo, Kev, I'm moving to a place near Ralph's on La Brea, near Santa Monica Boulevard. Afternoon on Friday. You and Lily available at any time? Sometimes Saturday. Saturday's horrible for mom. I could be in the valley. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her though. Um, because yeah, Saturday she doesn't really do anything. Um, Friday that could work. I need to see her schedule. I need to see her schedule. I mean, again, like she knows hers. I'm a little bit busy. I mean, I came here, I kind of fucked up. I forgot that mom was at Kaiser. But I'm an idiot. I should have fucking known. But uh yeah, I don't know. She's also really suggesting me fucking clean my teeth on Friday, but we'll figure something out. I'm not 100%. I can't speak for her because I know that she has some shit going on and I have to direct this video sometime soon. Waxy got me into this. She did my birth chart, so I learned a lot about myself. So I learned that Taurus and Capricorn both work a lot. Whoa, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I know that I'm stubborn and I like nice shit. That's kind of as far as I know. I don't know that I work hard, but I mean, I also think that too. I think, yeah, I mean, but yes, I'm with you completely. Yeah, but I'd want to do this. I mean, it's also funny too. I mean, like I'm like so like I like daydream hard. And it's also funny too because it's like there's for such a long time in my life like oh man, I remember um yeah, I mean like just me saying like I want to yeah, I mean just daydream. Daydreaming is work. It really is work. And uh and people have different words for it, but I've I remember just like yeah, not even putting time aside, but like just doing it and kind of like losing track of time, but then also kind of putting time aside to do it. And yeah, in that regard, I really, really work kind of crazy, which is funny. I mean, like I take hella naps, you know. um, uh, but I probably won't be around for when she gets back streaming. I'm going to see Bill Burr, David Spade, and dude, that's awesome. Oh shit, Bill Burr's gonna be at the Comedy Store. That's so sick. Sick. Um, Also, how's David Spade's comedy? Yeah, I don't know where she is. I guess maybe she's at the dentist's office. Um, but yeah, I'll see what's up. You probably don't remember me. I asked about Fiona some time ago. How is she? I do totally remember you, and Fiona is good. I haven't talked to her for a minute, but also I think that there are things about Fiona adjacent kind of coming. I don't really know anything, but yeah, she's good. I mean, we're still like we communicate the way we do. We're pen pals. I should talk to her a little bit more, but yeah, good. She's good. She's great actually, and still the best. You know, completely. Also, it's funny too. I was thinking about like, yeah, even that, like, dude, Fiona writing the foreword to our book. I mean, like, I would never put pressure on her, but I'm sure she could whip up some like funny ass, like, I don't even know. I think, yeah, I mean, we're close enough for like, I kind of wouldn't really care anymore, even though I kind of do, but I would be nervous to kind of hear what she would have to say about us, even though I already know what it would be, but it's still kind of crazy. I still have a tendency to Fiona is one of the rare ones where I kind of can't not look at her and not think Fiona Apple, you know, even though she's the homie Fiona. Kev, have you ever considered having her location for safety reasons? No, I haven't. I mean, no, I haven't. I should though. We're talking about my mom here. I haven't seen Spade stand up lately. Liked his specials from back in the day. I think he was on Kimmel not too long ago. Was still funny. Dude, sick. Um, yeah, how are you doing? I just started streaming again, and I'm gonna put some things out. Also, I think I'm sitting on some Fiona stuff that you probably would want to see. I think most Fiona people would, but I'll probably call her up and see. Because also, kind of like the last time we really spoke, which I should do, I should follow up. But the last time we spoke, she kind of said something along the lines of like, again, this is also, I'll tell you this too, Jason, I'll tell you this too. This is a big thing. I get, Fiona Apple changed my life in a billion ways, but there were some things where like I remember not fucking with some musicians, but Fiona was different because I would have done anything for her. I will do anything for her, but it was a labor of love in the simple fact that like whatever we were doing, if she never wanted it to see the light of day, I would just burn it, and she's very different in that regard because most people who make things want it to come out, and I don't think she doesn't want things to come up, but she's just very like, if it's not right, then it's not right, and whatever, and like the epitome of like art, and so I think that when I was working with some people really, some people saw what I wanted to do, and again, it wasn't anything that special. It was just like, again, even if it's just considering TikTok, that's very gnarly to people who are older, who are just like, you're gonna dilute the message or some shit, And she was the only one who was just like, oh, I don't care, like good is good, and like I get where you're coming from, and I trust you, and I think that one thing, like that instilled confidence in me where I was just like, I don't give a fuck about shit. It was like, oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, you think that I'm fucking lame? Like Fiona is on my team, And I really do think that really, I haven't thought about it like that, but that really put gas in the tank, and not even just gas in the tank, but like she was like a gas station. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, this is unlimited, But thanks, Evan. Thank you. But yeah, but I think I'm sitting on some stuff. Oh, so I was saying the last thing that we really spoke about, she was just like, oh yeah, she was like, when you just meet someone, you're gonna do something with them because you need to do something with them. And I'm like, yeah, and she's like, we'll be figuring it out. And I'm like, kind of, I'm here whenever, and like, oh boy, do I want to just. I mean, I think that my heart of hearts, no one could make something with Fiona as much as Fiona's approval basically legitimizes that. Yeah. I mean, like I also, but it's also funny too, because like I would, if someone were to like lend me their ears, even though like I don't feel like I would really, it's like, like that, like the Kanye meme of like when you give someone advice and you put your hands up being like, but don't take it from me. I would say it's not good to put people on pedestals like that. Not that I'm saying I don't take it my own advice. It's tough when you idolize some people to the point where like you have a standard of what's good or what's great, and then if you hold yourself to it, you fuck yourself in the long run. I'm not even talking about Fiona per se, even though we are. But I agree with you. Like I just remember like, yeah, like when kind of like growing up and like kind of like wanting to do some stuff in creative fields, and I'm like, well, I'm doing this, but like this is what my taste is, and that is in another world. And then I just shot myself in the foot compared to like just kind of making the thing and then putting one step in front of the other and then kind of getting to a place. But again, I completely agree where I'm like, dude, like I was never ever rude or anything, but like if I was talking to someone and they just wrote me off like a Looney Tune, I would be like, Fiona fucks with me, fuck you, I'm just like, I don't give a single fuck. But yeah, she's the best. She's the best. Kind of going through the same stuff but different. What's up, Jason? How's it going, Cello? Yeah, but also just so I just started streaming again over here because I think I'm gonna write a book with my mom. I'm gonna write a book on mom and with mom, and so we're just kind of like I'm just kind of like venting and brainstorming ideas about it. So you just kind of like happen to. It's cool. There's like two or three people on this YouTube channel that is here from music work I did, and so I'm gonna try to do it some more. What other music are you into besides Fiona being the best? And I completely agree. You know, yeah, approval is a safety net. Agreed. But I just think that if you need a safety net, you're kind of a bit in trouble because you gotta go. You know, you gotta fly. You gotta fall. You gotta fall. You know, like you have to. It's like you. Oh my God! Here's a good one. Remember, I was doing a piece on my friend Bob Bruno, and it was a bummer because I didn't finish it, which is a real bummer of mine. But I called up Fiona, or Bob knew her, and so I was like, could I interview her? And she said okay because of Bob. And then she was just like, well, Bob has to be there, and I was just like, yeah, of course. And then Bob was like, I mean, that's uncomfortable, you know. I mean, again, like if Fiona was to talk about you on camera in front, you know, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? It's like you have to take advantage of the moment, you know. And then last second, Bob got a job, and he had to like, she had to drop something off, and he was just like, oh my God, I can't make it. And then Fiona's just like, well, you know, I mean, I guess I just like I've like mentally prepared like someone coming over. So she was like, well, if you still want to do it, you can come over. And I'm like, oh my God. Like again, I was just like, I can't say no. You know, it's like I can't, all right. And then I'm safety net at all. And I had to man up, and I was completely shook, and I was so frightened. And I also showed up. And then I think that because of that, and I don't think that she kind of noticed that I was really nervous, even though I mean I told her how much, you know, like she means to me a million times over. But which is also an art and a scary thing because someone could not know how to say it and make things uncomfortable. But but yeah, again, I think that it's like if you it's like yeah, I mean it's like I'm with you. It's like a safety net, but it's also like training wheels. And it's just like if you're trying to run the race, if you're trying to fucking bike, you gotta get those off, you know? You gotta go. And but again, I don't get me wrong. I think that it's like as opposed to maybe like a safety net, it's like I think by this point, like I'm running a marathon, and I think that she's down the line with like a shot of water or some like, you know, gel or some whatever. You know, it's the same thing, just kind of like looked at maybe a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, but I think that but definitely like she was the thing that got me through. She probably was when I was talking earlier about as opposed to like inspiration, which again I think is a great thing. But if that's what you if you're using inspiration to kind of do the work, you're in trouble to anyone who's just trying to do the work and showing up on days that just fucking blow, but they just made a decision to do it. And whatever the thing is that kind of makes people like that show up to work, Fiona was kind of that to me. I mean, or it was like I just did it and she saw it, and then she was just like, "Oh man, I tipped my hat to that." And then that was kind of like all I really needed. It was like a little push, and I was like, "Oh shit." Um, See you, Evan. But yeah, it's yeah, it's funny. But yeah, how are you? What other music do you like? Also, I wonder where mom is. 4:40. Maybe I should have a little snack, and then when she comes back, why is she still out? What the fuck is going on? The hell? Yeah. Also, oh my god, how do you guys take notes? Is it raining? It is not raining, actually. Kind of raining. Um, Let me see. It was like halfway drizzling when I was. No, it's not raining. It's gonna rain at like 9 or something. Smart words, man. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And you're welcome to everything. What's mine is yours, you know? I love taking notes. It's a stickus at this point. The only thing is I don't know how to take notes because I don't know how to refer to them. I write a bunch of shit down and then they're just on paper all over my fucking house. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know how to outline and shit. And also like I have this little recorder now and like I'll like record something and then I'll like not take notes on the thing, even like on like digitally just to like name it. And so there's just like recording 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how do you do it? I need to learn, dude. Just do a list of titles with bullet points, a list. Maybe I should send your birthday gift early. I don't know. Well, cause I think that I'm going to, like even in the book, there's a moment in the book with also Fiona, because again, that was kind of like the turning point. You love lists, bro. But that was kind of a turning point because that was when mom was on the internet. And also it was kind of through mom that we got super close. And that was nuts. That was nuts. Divide a paper in half, write main subject, left notes on the. Well, like, okay, like, how would I think she's here. Okay, so I was thinking about it happens slower than you expect and then faster than you could imagine. She's back. I met Fiona at Largo, and then it was just kind of like really like oddly serendipitous. But I used to go to Largo religiously, and so we kind of met a bunch. But I didn't know her, and I was really shook. But then we like happened to be on a cruise together, and so we were basically locked up, and we got along very, very well. Also, we had a friend who passed that was really good at breaking the ice, and so we got super close through that. And then I was filming a bunch of musicians, and she was at the top of the list. And like I just told you that story, after we met that first time, I was shooting with her, and then we just got along so well that we barely even shot. And we just kind of hung out, and I was just like, oh, I didn't really get anything. Could we come? And she was like, oh yeah, for sure. And then I came back again, and I was just like, we kind of filmed a little bit. And then I made a little movie on this channel, and she saw it, which is also the first, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. This is another one. Dude, I made like a little documentary about my friends making a record. And she wanted to see it. And it was crazy because she just kind of wanted to see it. And to kind of even like size me up a bit. And she was just like, and not in a bad way, but she wanted to see it. And then she said something like, the last thing in the world I want to do is watch a movie, like a documentary about a band making a record. But I want to see how you kind of portrayed so-and-so. And I was like, okay. And so the first person I ever, my first YouTube video, my first long form anything was like an hour, 20 minutes. The first thing I was like, oh my God, like I made like a movie, whatever. The first thing I fucking do, the first person to fucking see it that's not like my mom was Fiona Apple. And she's not like the homie yet. You know, she's not my homie yet. And then, dude, I swear, like I fucking imagine, like I sent it to her at like 4 p.m. This shit's an hour 20. She fucking texted me at like 5:22, and she was just like, hey, I'm making a record. If you want to come, you could film whatever you want. And then she was making fetchable cutters. it was like, and I think that that's probably, again, I forgot about that because I haven't like, why would I talk about it? And that's the truth. And it was like, oh my God. And so after that, I was just like, fuck it. What the fuck do I give a shit? You know, it's like, oh my God, like, oh wow, someone thinks that my TikToks are fucking lame. You know, it's just like but also it's like I don't even know what I'm gonna do with any of this stuff. Like, but yeah, I mean, hopefully between me and a few others who are kind of like around at the time, whenever there's like a dock ready for fetch the bolt cutters, I've got a lot of the goods. Yeah, it's a plaid, dude. Oh my God, that's awesome, Cello. Yeah, I've just used it for the first time. I started this week or this weekend. I haven't even listened back yet. But oh my God, wait, it takes notes. So maybe I could see some of the shit transcribed. Oh, yo, Cello, tell me how to use it, please. I'm not a list person and take notes that way helped me a lot. Okay, sick. Wait, but the notes are great. The stuff you write down, just write your thoughts, leave some space and write. I mean, again, I've been writing a lot down. It's just also like there's so much I write down by this point that it's hard to come back to too, you know? Or I put a title page and take some notes. That's such a cool story. Yeah, it was crazy. There's no one who's like pushed me, not meaning to, harder in my life. Just kind of like just being around someone who's just like so real. It's like it's almost scary. Third book, Lily and Fiona love affair. That's a good one. That's a good one. I would want to do something on Fiona. I mean, I really would want to do something on Fiona. That would be like. That would be great. Because it would be. I would do so much work and it'd be so easy. But I'd want it to be so great. Also, even like the videos that you know you found on this, I think initially Fiona was just like, dude, I don't really know. While we were shooting it, because she was just like, shoot whatever you want. And she was like, yeah, I don't really know. And then anytime I sent her what I was doing, she was just like, I want to hate it, but I think that someone might get. It's like Fiona's also so great because she has a really great way of like thinking about the other people more than her. Like if she's just like, this isn't everything that I would want to put out to a T, but I know that this is an insight that someone might get. She's like, you know, and it's not always that's the case, but yeah, she's just, I don't know, she's the best artist. She's my favorite. She really is my favorite. It's also crazy, like I mean, like telling her like she was like my first favorite that wasn't like a rapper growing up on some rap shit or just like old like jazz stuff that my dad played. And I was just like, I don't even know who this is, but like I really like this, whatever. And still, like it's like I chose once, you know, and I was just like, I was right. At least I still feel, you know, it's like I don't look back with like embarrassment over my like basically elementary school picks, you know, or like really like when the pawn really, really, really fucked me up. In what is that? Like that's ninth grade for me. Something like that. And I'm like, never looked back being like, fucking, this is the best record. And it's still to this day, Desert Island record, the whole thing. Yeah. Rewriting is good. Almost like, AI might be best for that. Yeah. Rewriting would probably be good. I mean, there are things where I think everything on the plaid right now is worthy of rewrite. Like I do like morning pages to the point where I'm like, there's a lot of trash in there. But like when I'm like trying to explain what Christmas means, I think every single time I try, there's probably something that's in there that I should probably just like, you know, yeah, take out and kind of put back in, you know. But also, you know, I kind of really fucked up in my life where I used to talk to myself out loud a lot and just not record anything. So just like, it just on a bike ride, just like out in the world. The plaid's been helping because like I mentioned the other day, like I could listen to music while doing so. I couldn't listen to music when I was uh, on my phone, you know? So yeah, it's been helping. But okay, yo, it's 10 to 5. I should go and we should go. I'll stream on mom soon. So guys, it was fun. Thank you for the help. I'll probably tell mom on the stream later on in a minute about some of what Rosebud said. And fuck it. Well, yo, also Cello, if you're still here. So does that mean do you think I should record these streams as a lecture on the plaid to take notes? Like if I was like the 99 laws of Lily, should I just do that? See you tomorrow. Probably won't be able to. All right, Big Cheese. We'll talk to you tomorrow then. Yeah, Kev, the plaid will transcribe it, summarize it, do flow charts, identify different speakers. Whoa. Okay, so then sick. Okay, cool. Also awesome, Shorkin. Also, thank you, Shorkin. And also awesome, Hans. So okay, so 1 second. So Cello, so do you think that, yeah, like if again, I don't know how to use it, but like so if I'm letting it record and then mom and I are talking about the laws, it'll transcribe it and then it will summarize the laws. Could I, like, is there a way I could kind of like verbally say something to kind of like make it take a note more so? Like if I'm like, highlight this or whatever, or like clip it, you know what I mean? Because I think that if I do that, then we could do that, because also I could kind of make it so if she says something and you guys hear something that I don't hear and you're just like plaid or whatever, then I'll be like, highlight it. And then we'll kind of go from there, which is also just, I mean, this is crazy. It's like, I feel like this is kind of the way I edit, but that's just, it's crazy work, you know? Like, it's like, we'll stream for like an hour and a half or something. Okay, 1 second. Where is this lady? I wonder if she's walking, trying to help the library. But okay, guys, yo, yeah, it's almost 5. Yo, I'm gonna go for a sec. Mom will come back. I'll stream. Cello, if you're around in the next stream, let me know. But yeah, you could probably do that. I've never tried saying a verbal cue, but I'm pretty sure you could tell AI before you summarize what you want it to summarize. Whoa, crazy. I mean, this would kind of be the first AI anything I really use. I've just used it to record, and I just kind of like, I just play it back. I haven't used it as anything. I just wanted another recorder, and this was just like the slimmest one. I'll mess with mine between streams and let you know. Okay, dude, sick. Okay, sick. So then I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go, and I'll see you guys in a minute. See you, Abby. See you guys. This was fun. Thank you very much. See you later, alligator.